When you want different for yourself, you have to start moving different. All keys don't unlock new doors.
Welcome to GayTalk 2.0, the ultimate podcast for your dose of dish.
Lord help me, here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gents, to another episode of GayTalk 2.0, an LGBT podcast, streaming live on our YouTube channel for all of our Patreon supporters on the day of recording. Today, we bring you a double feature. 2 guests and a whole lot of fun. The first guest is our beloved Dr. Evan Goldstein of Bespoke Surgical. The great doctor is going to join us after a long hiatus to talk about August is for anal lovers. Our second guest is none other than Master Bator extraordinaire, Parker Woods, who was crowned Master Bator of Season 4 of the Great BateWorld BateOff. Parker Woods is one of the most recognized figures in autofellatio, known for his technique-driven solo content and self-suck stretch tutorials. In 2024, he was chosen and actually won Pornhub's Top Blowjob Performer Award through autofellatio alone. My name is Tom, and I am your host. And as always, I'm in the studio with my amazing co-host, starting with the first one.
Hey, y'all, Nick or Trish.
And
J-Bear, a.k.a. your boyfriend's boyfriend.
And welcome you all to the show. I think it's going to be a hot mess because we have a guest. We are trying to use this new, well, it's not new. We've used it before, but we haven't used it in a while. Thank you, Nick. And so, yeah, this might be a mess. So
okay, you need to breathe, girl. Like literally, I need you to breathe.
I'm trying.
We tested this. We know Dr. G, and we're gonna talk about autofellatio. Okay,
I got this. I think I got this.
Okay,
I just needed that shot. Plus, I'm hungover from last night.
Well,
so.
I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
So we're expecting. We're doing something different during the first half. We're gonna have Dr. G on to talk about. August is for anal lovers, and then during the second half after the break, we're going to bring in Parker Woods and have a conversation with him. So that it's a little out of the ordinary. We decided to start a couple of minutes early just to get a little bit of time to talk to my boys and see how they're doing. So Trish, how are you?
I'm good. Tomorrow's my birthday.
Yeah,
we were nominated for the People's Podcast Choice Awards.
We're excited.
Super excited about that. And my niece knows I'm gay, so I mean everything's great.
Oh boy!
Yesterday was National Gay Uncles Day, and I went and saw my nieces, and I told her that it's National Gay Uncles Day, and she was like, "I have a gay uncle."
Oh,
3.5-year-old. I'm like, "Oh, girl, yes, you do."
That is so cute. And Jay Bird, how are you?
Good. I'm not a gay uncle. No.
You're the bisexual uncle, the grandpa,
the dad,
the brother,
the
husband,
the
father,
the caretaker. Yeah.
You too. I'm telling you.
Yeah. No. So far, so good.
That's awesome.
We'll see how this ends up. I think it's going to be nutty, but good.
Yeah, I hope so. I think
it'll be really weird to go from medical
to anal.
Yes.
I think it's a good transition.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be a little weird, but you know what? We'll figure it out.
So Tom, how are you?
I'm going through it. I'm a little hungover. Last night was a lot of fun, but oh my God, was it a hot mess? But Nick made it all better. He walked in today and he came in with this. So it is a sarong, but this one is one that you wear over your neck, and it's got armholes and everything, and it's super soft, and I'm feeling very cunty in it.
Yeah, no, honestly, I felt like I needed to bring you something today, and I'm glad I did, because I feel like you would have killed me otherwise.
Probably. But, you know, it is what it is. So hopefully the links work and everyone, you know, comes in and does what they need to do. I turned off that thing over there in the corner.
So I can vape?
No. So the air purifier. So sometimes when it kicks on automatically, it starts like you hear humming noises and all that good stuff. But yeah, no, I was going through it. And so this is silky and soft, and
Mhm.
thank you. And I think this is going to be my new uniform at home.
I mean, that's fine.
So it's going to be this and my jock
Nothing
strap.
else. Nothing
it.
else.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, live your life.
So I'm going to be mowing the lawn with this on, my jock strap, ass out, Hey,
Neighbors are going to love it.
yeah, it's going to be fine. It's
Yeah.
going to be fabulous. But other than that, life is good. I think if I could ever get rid of this hangover that I have, and
What is it? Hair of the dog?
oh,
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully she calms down in a minute.
Yeah.
it's
hair of a
yeah, no,
dog.
I'm
think-
sort of kind of feeling it,
She's already
mellowing out.
mellowing out.
So while we wait for Dr. G, because I
Mhm.
know that we are waiting for him. So August is for anal lovers, right?
Right.
Right. So I just want to share that Anal August is your time to shine and stretch.
Yes.
Take 15% off one-time buys and 20% off new subscriptions now through the end of the month.
Yas.
Promo code is needed. So I think you have to go to the website and sign up.
Gotcha. Okay.
I should have probably started off with what in the butt.
What in the
Yeah,
butt?
anal August is here.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm excited because we haven't had Dr. G on the show for quite almost a year, and
Has it been almost a year?
I think
been a
so.
while.
It's been a
Yeah.
while, and
Wow.
I think it was 2024.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were talking about it last week. I think it was April of 2024.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So and for me, we lose the track of the importance of being able to have genuine conversations with someone who's so lovable, so open and talks about sexuality, homosexuality, and of course being a bottom with such ease, right? Like he's the type of person that really just sort of kind of gives it to you straight or
Well.
not. But he tells it like it is, and he's very honest, also very funny, and I'm sure that his patients really appreciate that.
Yep.
The fact that you have that. If I didn't have that in my doctor, I think I would probably be fucked. I think you and I share the same primary.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important to be able to have a doctor that is part of the community, but also understands and doesn't judge you for the choices that you make. But it is what it is.
He definitely doesn't judge. He's seen some things.
Mhm.
Oh, yes, he has.
There was so I was looking on his website earlier. So he got a new website. It's beautiful, by the way.
Mhm.
And there's an article on there that brings them people right to our podcast about, remember the conversation we had about Rosebud?
Yes.
I don't really remember exactly what we were talking about, but there's something going on there. I got to go back and listen to the episode.
Interesting. Well, I mean, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. And I guess as we wait, right?
Yeah, no. He is actually here. So what I'm going to do
Oh.
is let's bring Dr. G in with us because, of course, it's been so long and we've missed the living daylights out of that piece.
Oh,
How
Hi.
are you, Dr.
how
G?
does he look younger and cuter?
Oh, shut
Botox.
the fuck up. What's wrong with you?
Hey,
It's been way too long. How have you been?
I am good. Can you see me? Because you guys are
Yes.
using a new platform. I can't make it bigger. I don't see you all so well.
Well,
What's
I mean,
up?
we can sort of kind of, zoom in
Hey,
for you.
that's hey.
what's
Hi,
up?
Dr. G.
Where the fuck have you been?
So we've been here, we sort of kind of listen. Life took us in many different directions.
Mhm.
A lot of things have happened in the last year. I think the last time we had you on the show was in April of last year.
Yeah.
I know, it's so crazy.
Well, it's kind of my fault.
Yeah.
I kind of was lacking in booking people, and it was just, there was a lot going on.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. What's going on? Happy fucking anal August.
Yeah. So I hear you have this new campaign for August. We want to talk about it. And then fill us in. What have you been up to?
I'm working my ass off. The kids have been away since June, so it's been kind of crazy. They're coming back on this weekend, so I'm super excited. I've missed them dearly. I've had to talk to Andy, my partner, like all the time, which is driving me fucking insane. I've
That's
actually
awesome.
had to hang out with him, and I'm like, fuck.
Oh no.
So are you one of those type of people that sort of kind of find it easier to hang around and deal with children than adults?
Oh God, hell yeah, especially Andy. No, it's been good. You know, it's nice. It's nice to have some time for you, and you kind of get alone time and learn how to be an individual again versus then just like a dad.
Mhm.
Right.
And everything's good. Business is good.
Are you
The
still
ass is
bi-coastal?
still. Say it again.
Are you still bi-coastal? Do you have a practice
No,
out?
I stopped the LA with
Okay.
COVID. Yeah, it just didn't make sense. But you never know. It may come back.
Yeah, I got to come to the little blue door.
Oh, the little blue
The
door.
little blue door.
So talk to me. August, you guys got what's your deal? Questions, things? Tell me what's up.
Well, Jay's on Sniffies now.
Nice.
Tom is just open for business.
I am.
But no, actually, I wanted to ask you about. I read an article that had come out that you were interviewed about the silent disease, which is anal cancer.
Sure.
And I wanted to know if you could talk a little bit about how, I mean, I know you can get it through HPV, but are there other ways? Can you just develop anal cancer? And how do you?
You can, but it's mostly through the virus HPV, which we all have. So human papillomavirus, it's a virus that we get through skin to skin contact.
Mhm.
So licking and rubbing and playing and everything that you and I like to do can cause the virus. And we all have it. And you can be screened for it. You should be screened for it, usually about once a year, where you do two swabs. The first swab looks at which types of HPV do you have. HPV is broken down into low risk and high risk types. And so through that, you can kind of understand risk as it relates to which virus that we have, because we all have it. Now,
Mhm.
the anal pap smear, which is very similar to women that get cervical pap smears, looks at these cells to try to distinguish and differentiate, is there a progression from normal to cancer? And there's many different steps, years and years of steps that normal cells can transform into cancer cells. And by doing a pap smear, in theory, you're catching that early. And if you catch it early, you can actually stop that progression. So that's why anal pap smears are, standard of care and have been for a while. But we'll talk about some caveats. Are there questions so far?
Yeah. So when you talk about, as a gay man, I don't know exactly what a pap smear is. What
Sure.
is a pap smear?
So it's a Q-tip. Many people use brushes, so be weary of people that use a brush because it's so fucking painful in that space. But it's basically a Q-tip that goes in, just similar to like we would test for chlamydia, gonorrhea, all of that stuff. But what it does is when you're kind of, swabbing around, it takes these cells and you analyze the cells to tell me.
Oh,
Oh, we lost him?
Hold on a second. Do you hear me?
yeah.
Yep.
He's
Yeah.
back.
So are there any changes on that swab? That's the key. And that's what we're doing. So it's microscopic changes. So we swab in there, we take those cells and we look at the cells and figure out, well, is it normal? Is it not normal? And there's a grading system that allows you to understand what the next steps in management is. But you have to take this back. Anal cancers came about mostly in the HIV positive era, especially in the timing when HIV was rampant and it wasn't really treated appropriately. So there are secondary cancers that people developed, like Kaposi's sarcoma, lymphomas, and anal cancers. Now, the incidence of anal cancer in the general population of even non HIV individuals is so fucking low. So
Mhm.
there are many people that feel like doing anal pap smears once a year in a non-HIV individual is so overkill because If you have positivity, you then need to go for biopsies and potential treatment. And those biopsies are not innocuous. Many people come to me from other practitioners where they've had biopsies that have led to abscesses or to tears called fissures or to other things. So what are the incidents, what's the real incidence of anal cancer in the specific population? What types of HPV do you have and how aggressive do we need to go? Those are the things that we should all be thinking about, because you want to be aggressive so that you can prevent things, but you also want to be realistic, especially in the bottoming space, because there could be negative consequences for something that you would never ever have developed.
Right. So outside of like HPV specifically, are there warning signs, like say, that you may have anal cancer and have to go see a doctor?
So, anal cancer is usually a precursor. Rarely do I ever see someone come to me that has a rip roaring anal cancer that doesn't have symptoms that they neglected. So, they've been bleeding, or they're having pain, or they're having itching, or they've had lesions of anal warts for a long time and never been treated.
Right.
You know, it typically is HIV positive, not controlled on medication, high risk individual that engages and doesn't really follow up in the medical system. That's the usual person.
Mhm.
Rarely, I mean, do I ever see someone that is non-HIV bottom, that's followed up in the system, that develops into that.
Mhm.
So I think the key is, we talk a lot about anal pap smears being really important to bring the gateway for the client or the patient into the anal system. I don't necessarily, and what do I mean by that? I mean that I think the anal pap smear is so great because it makes people look at your ass. It makes people take a look inside and out. It talks to you about sexual history, and it forces the physician to actually give a shit about what they should be. So I think that it's really an important thing to not only help on an anal cancer prevention, but I think just getting the person the right quality care for just all things anal, especially if you are a bottom.
So if you are HIV positive and at a higher risk of anal cancer, managing it with medications will actually help you mitigate the risk of anal cancer.
Yes, totally. I mean, it helps you mitigate the risk of many of those secondary cancers that can develop. It's all immune related, right? So if you're not being treated, your HIV, your counts are so off whack that your immune system becomes defunct. And because of that, you start to develop these secondary cancers. So there's lots of things, better management, and clearly making sure that you are on top of the management so that HIV is non-existent, right? Second is the vaccines. So obviously, all the specific vaccines from meningococcal to the hepatitis and all that stuff, but also Gardasil, which is the vaccine for HPV. And it's even up to the age of 45 now. But I think anyone that bottoms, anybody that's in the sexual space, should get it, because there's many people that are having a revival of their ass later in their lives. They're out of a relationship. They lose erectile function where they want to be relevant in the gay community, where they say, hey, I want to bottom more, and I'm like, hey, have you gotten the vaccine? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, you should get it even if you're above the age, because we're definitely seeing it translate to decrease in risk of issues.
Mhm.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I know we were discussing HIV positive. So in retrospect, if they're undetectable, does that bring their risk for cancer down?
It does, 100%, just because it parlays with the immune system, right? The undetectable allows their numbers to be in a great space. But when you look at the literature, you're seeing for sure the HIV positive population in general has a higher risk than the non-HIV for anal cancers. But I think that, there's lots more data coming through as it relates specifically to that. But it's a hard population to study, and there's lots of variabilities that go through it. I think in general, anyone that's HIV positive just should be undetectable and in the best possible number wise to make
Mhm.
sure that they don't mitigate other risks too, right? As higher risk of STIs, higher risk of HPV related anal cancers, and other systemic issues.
Yeah. So talk about HIV. I've been seeing articles come out about a potential vaccine. Have you heard anything about this?
Yeah, I think there's actually cool stuff. I mean, I just saw something about also gonorrhea vaccine that they're being tested for in Europe and the UK, which just
Mhm.
seems super promising. Which is great that they're putting the dollars to support that and see where that goes. There's always been stipulation that the HIV vaccine has already been developed. It's just that they
Yeah.
want all of us fucking homos escorted off the earth, which is
Yeah.
which ain't happening. But with that said, yeah, I mean, I think all these things are super great. It's just a matter of making it, coming to fruition and then making it accessible so that the higher risk groups have access to this type of care.
Yeah. Now, speaking of all of us homos being evacuated from the world, given this current political climate, this administration, and all the conversation that kind of revolves around vaccines, like, what is your take on that? What do you advise people?
Well, I mean, I don't know what are you trying to get at? I
So,
mean,
like,
I try not to pretend that the administration is actually doing anything. I just continue to do what I do to push the narratives and the envelopes and the access to care. Um,
I
you
think
know,
the
yeah,
main piece of my question is, I feel like there's a lot of misinformation out there, right? There's a lot of people that think vaccines are bad, or vaccines are going to
yeah,
cause this later in life, all of this. I mean, perfect example, one of my family members has 1.5-year-old and a brand new baby, and she gave them basically everything they needed in order to be accepted to go to like school and stuff, but
yeah,
won't
yeah.
go beyond that. Like, I just feel like people have like become so afraid of taking a vaccine.
Yeah, I mean, I try to meet people where they are, because even though I say, I'd love to treat nobody that supports the administration on certain policies. I think the reality is that we don't know what people believe and or think, or what the situation is. But I think, I try to communicate to make sure that people know what the positives and negatives are, and what the ramifications of getting it and or not getting it.
Mm.
I really don't see negative consequences as it relates to specifically what I deliver of the HPV vaccine. Um, and when you look at, the potentials of what I see with anal warts or with herpes management or any immune issue anally, I treating, an 18-year-old kid, his first sexual experience, he wound up getting fucking HPV warts. And it's like,
Yeah.
his bottoming life, is sacrificed from the first engagement he had, and he never got the vaccine. And so you try to just educate as much as you can. I think some of it is also educating the parents too, right? Which is, how do we make sure that, like, if you have a child that is engaging in these types of acts, how do we make sure that we support? And that's where I love talking with you, because I think it's the airwaves, right? It's the
Mhm.
podcasts, it's the media, it's what people are looking at and listening to, where you start to kind of empower them, And I even work very close with Sniffies and a lot of these other brands, to push the narrative. So where are you going in the Sniffies app, huh? What type of kink are you doing?
That's on Jay.
I don't know what they're talking about.
That's on Jay.
No, but a follow-up question, I guess.
Avoidance.
Avoidance. No.
Way to change that subject.
You guys are horrible. No, see, you made me forget the question.
Oh, shit.
No, so anal lesions, right?
Yeah.
So is that also a high puts you at higher risk for anal cancer down the road, or
So
fissures for
when you
that,
say when you say anal lesions, you
or
mean like
fissures, or rough sex
so
play and.
everything from a bottoming perspective increases the risk, right? From how we're douching to how we're cleaning to the lubes that we're using to the tears. It's all about inflammation and irritation. And so that in and of itself is what causes issues. When you look at STDs like chlamydia, syphilis, gonorrhea, all of those are caused by a breakdown in the microbiome. And we've spoken a lot about that. And the issue is, well, how do you not create that? It's going to happen inherently. There's always going to be that risk, but how do we mitigate that risk? And it's eating correctly, it's using fiber, it's trying to douche less, it's pre and probiotics that support the anal microbiome. I mean, all of this stuff was really the impetus of me starting Future Method, right? Which was, Bespoke really being the A/B test of like, well, what are we seeing from a community perspective? And then the next of like, all right, well, how do I fix it surgically or medically? But then what about some of the products that we can do to support the community? Because we know that these anal lesions, these irritations, these hemorrhoids lead further to inflammation and HPV, the virus of HPV or herpes loves inflammation. So the more inflammation you have, the more the virus can replicate and become an issue. And then it just becomes this vicious cycle that can lead to long-term consequences. So you're right. I think it's a lot of just people understanding anatomy and understanding what they can do to mitigate as much risk as possible.
And I remember my question now, my follow up, I guess. So bottoming and HPV, right? So if you're gonna bottom, I mean, is there? I don't know if there's a specific amount of bottoming you need to do to consider a vaccination, or for example, if you bottom once every 6 months or once a year, you're not, bottoming all the time. Does that put you at risk regardless?
Just to be clear, he's asking for a friend.
So I think it's a little bit more complicated because
So,
we're speaking now of anal cancer, but
mhm,
there's many other cancers that can become an issue with
yeah.
HPV, right? We have penile cancer, we have oral cancer, which we've seen with so many celebrities that love to lick and suck and play and do all these things, and they're not necessarily taking it up the ass. So obviously I'm a fucking anal surgeon, so what I see
The
on an
best.
anal perspective is the answer is yeah. I mean, obviously we want to mitigate as much risk as possible, and depending upon the more you bottom, the more risk there is of injury, right? But I think that it's not, you don't need penetrative sex to create risk. It could just be external rimming. It could be, just licking and rubbing. It could just be skin to skin, I mean, you don't need to be totally fucked internally to create risk. But when you're engaging in more internal play, there's more potential risk because people are douching, people are using water-based lubes intraanally, you're fucking, plus or minus condoms, and then obviously, all of the issues with stool and cum and all these other excrement. So I just think it just, if you think of a spectrum of like no anal play to full-fledged, you know, penetrative stuff, there's risk incrementally increased with that.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you.
So I know we sadly have to wrap it up, but I do have a couple things I wanted to just touch on. And I don't know if you could speak to this at all, but GLP-1s, they slow down your digestion, right? Do you find that people are coming to you with different issues now that are taking GLP-1s when it comes to bottoming and trying to clean out correctly?
Yes. So I think a couple of things. GLP-1s, many people come to me with fissures and hemorrhoids because of the GLP-1, because it creates significant constipation.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it really depends on who you are. So from a bottoming perspective, there are many people that like the GLP-1s because it constipates them and it makes douching less. And so it's all about motility, right? So why do people not eat, or why do people use Imodium? They're slowing the gut transit down. And so what it does is it leaves the actual area where we're having sex without any stool, without any contamination, and they either don't need to douche or they douche less and they're able to engage the way that they want. So I think there's two camps of people on the GLP-1. There's the camp of, hey, it's working really well. I look good, feel good. My diabetes and blood pressure and all that are in better control. And it helps me bottoming. I'm still able to shit, but I shit less and I'm all good. And
Mhm.
that's great. And then there's this other camp of like, it's fucking with me. Sometimes I'm so constipated that I have to push a lot and I tear, and a lot of those people, they have an underlying bottoming issue to begin with,
Yep.
where they've never been in like that group two, they've never been in that group one that could just like take everything. They've had this kind of underlying, I'm too tight, I've always not really been able to get into great sex. And then you add the GLP-1 and it just exacerbates that bottoming issue. Does
Right.
that make sense?
Yeah, that makes complete sense. So, full transparency, I'm on a GLP-1 and I've experienced that exact same thing. So, slowing down the digestion, feeling constipated, having to clean out more so that I'm actually going. So, like, it's been great because I feel much better in my body and I feel better with what I'm wearing, but it does make me a little nervous when it comes to sexual engagement. Like, is something going to happen, right?
She definitely was not asking for a friend.
No,
I get it.
I'm always honest about my life on the show.
Well, I think a couple of things. A lot of people, obviously, you got to drink a shit ton of water. Some people add like stool softeners or even like Miralax, where you'll do like a half a cap, just in like a shake or a drink. So it just kind of moves things along. Some people do the old wives' tale of like a big shot glass of olive oil, to kind of just lubricate the actual stool that's there. I think I always say, use toys as a test. So like the glass kid or a silicone kid or your own toys. A lot of people, when you're getting ready for sex, you're showering, you're potentially douching, like using the toys before will show you that you're actually quite clean. Especially in that space. And I think with the GLP stuff is like, you really just have to listen to your hole. So like a lot of people feel like I need to shit before I go to work, and so like you really force it. But like you have to listen, like be like, if you don't feel like you need to shit, just go on with your day. The GLP-1, when you are ready, it will tell you. Some people do the Calmol, the cocoa butter suppositories at
Okay.
night before you, let's say you haven't shit in 2 days, popping up that suppository, it just kind of coats the lining. But you have to figure out what works, because on one side it really helps for many people to feel more confident, in their body and also the slowing of the gut. But in others, it may fuck with you. So you just got to see how that works.
Yeah. No, I really appreciate your input and advice on that.
No, and it's something seriously that I as a person that is on Ozempic, for example, would have never thought of asking, right? Like, what are the complications potentially of being able to be a really good bottom, but also taking care of all these other things that you're focused on, and how the two interchange with each other when it comes to engaging in sexual activity, and also having to inject yourself and be a part of a regimen that that is also necessary.
Yeah. And I think, again, it's titrating doses. It's, sometimes maybe you're doing a full dose 1 week and then maybe half a dose the other week to try to figure out how to create that equilibrium, because you also don't want to feel bloated in that space where you feel like you need to shit, because that's annoying, where you're like, God, I feel like it's there and I don't, and you feel it and you're like living your life where you feel it. You don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not sexy at all.
No, definitely not.
Wow.
So we do have to wrap it up, because surprisingly, this is the first time we're doing a double feature. We have another guest. However, I do two more things. I know we're having you back on in September to talk about a new product launch, which I'm super excited about. Are there any new products since 2024 that you want to highlight with the current Anal August discount?
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of different cool things that we've done. We've, powder packs, which you put for every 4 ounces of drinkable water, you would put the powder pack into it. We've done a travel kit where it's these pouches with an enema tip on it so that you could just deliver from the pouch
And they're
directly.
great.
So that's really cool. And I think we're sending you guys all stuff so that when we talk in September, we just launched with silicone dilating kit that's 4 dilators to give people. So some people don't want to use the glass, they're still apprehensive. So we've kind of really modified that and put that into a silicone component. So there's lots of cool stuff that's been happening since y'all fuckers didn't, reach out to me.
You can thank Trish for that one.
It's my fault. It's my fault.
Oh, well, Dr. G, as always, it is amazing to see your wonderful
remind us
face.
in September. I have a funny story for you. We have to go, but I want to share it with you and get your opinion on it, and it has to do with Jay. So remind us when you jump on the call with us.
I am so excited, and thank you guys for reaching out. And I'm looking forward to September. And plug, keep plugging away.
Absolutely.
We'll definitely
Will
do
do.
that. Well, that is the face that launched 1,000 like crushes. But thank you so much once again for
And dilators.
and
Bye,
dilators.
everybody. Talk to you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Dr. G. All right, well, ladies and gents, we are going to
That's
take a
awesome.
quick break because we have to. But of course, when we come back, we do have Parker Woods who's going to join us. He's waiting in the waiting room, and we will be right back. All right, ladies and gents, thank you so much for allowing us to take that very quick break. We just needed to refresh and do all the things that we do on break. And we are coming back from break, and we're excited because we are going to be joined by Parker Woods, who is one of the most recognized faces related to autofellatio. And, quite frankly, I am excited to have this conversation because with a gift like that, like who wouldn't want to be this man? In all honesty, but we're not going to make you wait. We are going to bring Parker to join us on the live stream. He is joining us, and we're excited to have you. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So we have questions.
Oh, I'm sure.
We have a lot of questions, and certainly, like, my God, dude, the talent. So before we start, we want to make sure that you know who's who. So I'm Tom. I'm one of the hosts of the show, and obviously we have.
I'm Nick or Trish on the show.
Yeah, we call him Trish sometimes. And
Jay Bear, aka your boyfriend's boyfriend.
So if you have a boyfriend, watch out.
Nah.
Good thing I'm single.
Oh, okay. Well,
shouldn't have told us that.
Yeah, that's dangerous. So Parker, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself before we dive into all the amazing things that you do?
I don't know where to start. I'm an adult content creator. I've been doing adult content for 4 years now. And I don't know, I just started to show off my self-suck autofellatio talent, and it eventually won me a Pornhub award and the BateWorld BateOff. So yeah.
That's quite impressive. So I want to start by asking you this question. So you're growing up, you are 18, and you're in your room by yourself. You're exploring your body. You're exploring things that that most teenagers do. How soon into your exploration did you find this talent about yourself?
This is one of my favorite questions because people always ask me when I found out that I could do it. And in my case, it was not a matter of finding out. I was dedicated. When I first tried it, I could not do it. I thought I'd never be able to. I was, more than a foot away from reaching it. But I got involved in dance and aerial arts, and that taught me a lot about stretching. And so I started to apply that knowledge to my, masturbation sessions. And I was like, you know what, if I can stretch for the splits, I can probably stretch to suck my dick. So I eventually just made it work, made it happen. So it's not so much of a, finding out thing. It was a lot of time spent and a lot of trial and error, doing things that I should not have, because I most definitely had, messed up my back a time or two. But I've learned along the way, and yeah. So now I like to share that knowledge. And
So obviously there's a very important correlation between stretching and ensuring that you are preparing yourself to be able to contort yourself in positions that, quite frankly, I've seen and I'm like, wow, that would allow you to do that. So stretching is a very important part of that.
absolutely, there's some people that they kind of are just lucky where they're like naturally limber. I'm not one of those people, and if you don't use it, you lose it. I'm kind of in one of those little phases right now where I haven't done it in a little while. It's been, over a month, I'm sure, since I've really self-sucked. And so I had to start stretching again, like just a few days ago. I did it last night. I was like, okay, like, got the tip in, got the head in. But yeah, if you don't use it, you lose it. So it's kind of one of those things.
Just getting ready for the gay podcast you're going to be on today.
Yeah. Nick was like, oh, maybe we
right?
should ask for a demonstration. I was like, yeah, that's not going to go well on YouTube, but maybe on Pornhub. So a question for you. How often do you leave the house? Because with a talent like that, I'd never leave. I'd be home all day long.
I get that all the time, and I'm like, there's so many reasons why you kind of have to, though. Like, I mean, there's a lot of things that we can do from home. We have telehealth and grocery delivery and stuff like that. Some of those I do take advantage of myself. But I mean, I work from home anyway, so there's not really a whole lot. I live in Arizona, in a very boring area of Arizona at that, so I don't really leave the house a whole lot. So
It's
the
probably too
talent
hot.
comes in handy.
So can you talk a little bit about the Great BateWorld BateOff? So I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah.
And I'd like to hear a little bit more about the competition and the fact that you won.
Yeah. I don't even know where to begin. First of all, I just want to say that I love BateWorld. BateWorld.com, for anybody listening. It's a community focused on masturbation. So men join in, have fun. It's just a bunch of people showing off and just being horny and having a great time. It's not specific to content creators. It's actually, that's one of the cool things about it, is it's not, you have Twitter, Pornhub, and all these, OnlyFans, all these other places. I think that some people might misunderstand BateWorld and think that it's about, content creators, but it's really just anybody. Anybody's on there showing off and uploading their pictures and stuff like that. So it's a really great and fun, positive community.
They also have techniques, like basic techniques, expert.
Oh yeah. There was a what was it, the Bator training series that they had done a few years back, and I think that's something that's really fun to watch. But so yeah.
Now I have another question. So before we get into the competition,
yes,
are there any ways people masturbate that they shouldn't be doing? Like, is there something that people shouldn't be doing?
You know what? I'm sure there's all types of things that people do out there that I'm like, that could be dangerous. So I don't even know where to begin. I don't really have a whole lot. I guess I haven't really thought too much of that. Is there something in particular that you had in mind? That's like,
I do. Lube or spit?
I'm a lube person. I do not like spit. I'll be so honest.
Water-based or silicone?
What's that?
Water-based or silicone?
Silicone all the way. I cannot do water-based, and if I try to use dildos, it fucking burns my ass. It's awful. I actually just recently started using coconut oil.
Oh,
Interesting.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, it's good for a lot more things than just cooking.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah,
putting it on your
absolutely.
body.
Yeah, just don't use it after cooking.
Two separate.
Yeah, I have a separate jar that stays in my room, so we know what's what.
That's amazing. So talk a little bit about the competition. How did you get involved? How did you find out about the competition? And then how did you subsequently sign up and get involved?
Yeah. I had found out about the competition through Twitter. There was another creator that was a part of one of the previous seasons, Colby Jacks, and so he and I had become friends, and that kind of just made me more interested in, what's this bait world and what's this bait off and stuff like that. So I ended up signing up, and then a couple years later, I was watching him host last year's season, um, and it just made me feel like, man, like this looks really fun. I would love to be a part of something like this, and just to be a little bit more involved, because as a solo content creator, I don't do collabs. I'm not out here, you know. I don't have a lot of people to I guess work with, or that I'm meeting and stuff like that. So it gets very isolating as a solo content creator. So I wanted to join the competition to try to get a little bit more involved in that community, and then also just to build, some more connections overall. So this actually was the first year that they did the competition on a audition basis. Usually they would have the producer kind of, pick their people and offer it to people, and then they would, come in from there. This year, what they did was they opened up auditions. So members of BateWorld had to do a 2-minute audition video explaining, what masturbation means to them and why they want to be a part of the BateOff. So I submitted my video, and was lucky enough to get voted in by the voting community of BateWorld. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure the video itself had to be like incredible, because I mean, you are very, very, very flexible. I have seen a lot of pictures and videos of you in very interesting positions that, quite frankly, look painful.
No, they're not. It's I get why, for most people it's like, oh my God, that looks like it hurts. But when your body is used to it, or when you're stretching so much, you don't, I can sit in my splits forever and not feel a thing. My right split is another story. I'm not so even these days like I used to be when I used to do ballet, and other genres. But yeah, so you get used to it. It doesn't really hurt. Although right now I am having, like I said, I hadn't self-sucked in a while, so I'm like retraining my back right now to contort in that way, and I'm like, ugh, like it's hard to breathe a little bit when I'm in the position. So it's just a matter of getting used to it again, and staying consistent with those stretches.
Well, I will tell you, like I said before, if I were able to do that, I would never leave my house. I mean,
you don't leave the house as it is.
I
well,
know,
that's
literally.
true. That's true. But I mean, we have to think about a lot of the different aspects of, being a content creator, being a solo content creator, right? And then also like tutoring people and showing people how to be able to like perform self autofellatio on yourself. There's a lot of different aspects. For example, it's safer sex. You're having sex pretty much with yourself, right? There's all these different elements of being able to create in a safe space that allows you to share your content and engage your people online, but also avoiding having to expose yourself to a lot of the dangers that exist within the adult film industry when you're engaging with other people physically. Do you find that was the route that you took because of like for those reasons, or this is just how things developed for you?
Overall, I'd say a little bit of both. Where I live, there's not really any content creators nearby. So I'm a little limited with the ability to collab anyway. But on top of that, I mean, I'm content by myself for now. I'm sure eventually I would love to be, have somebody to work with. I would love to have a content partner. And then as far as the industry goes, one of the things that makes me content with where I am is that I have full control over everything,
Right.
My videos are my own. I own everything in it. It's my, nobody gets I get the final say over every little thing. If there's something I don't like, I can cut it out, edit it out myself, or just not upload the video altogether. And then not having to deal with feeling I am, I guess, sort of exploited in a way, because that's kind of a common topic when it comes to the porn industry, is people feeling sort of exploited by these studios, and that's just not something, that's not my experience, you know. So overall, doing porn for me has been a very pleasant experience because I have full control over everything that I do, and it's helpful that people get to watch me both give and receive a blowjob with nobody else in the room, so that's cool.
It's very intense, to be honest.
When this actual competition, so I'm literally on the website, I'm looking at all this stuff, and people are gonna be like, what was this kid looking up? But anyway, there were a few different people that you were competing against, and so for the actual competition, what was it, a live stream type thing? Like,
no. The laughter. No, it was not a live stream. It's we were presented with challenges at the beginning of the season. So we were told, we got an email that was like, this is what your challenges are going to be for each week of Masturbation May. That's why they do the competition in May. And so we got that email. We have a, hands-free challenge, which they have done every year since the competition started, since the BateOff started. There was a post-workout link, a kiss from a rose, which was one of our sponsors, the male rose. What was the other one? Bator Balm. They had our Bulgin briefs. It was a Bator Balm sponsor as well. And then we had our mirror video, which I got real creative with that one. And I was terrified uploading that video. I had like 3 of me in the same frame. And I was like, oh my God, they're going to think this is like way too weird or just, whatever. And I was actually very pleasantly surprised with like the overall response. But yeah, no, it wasn't a live, we had a month, I think maybe a month and a half, about a month to record everything and then submit it. And then they, put the videos together and they debut it each week on Thursday. So yeah, that's how.
So the public can watch the videos.
Members of BateWorld, yes.
Okay.
All it takes is a free BateWorld account to be able to watch the videos. But if you don't have a free BateWorld account, then you're not able to watch it.
I didn't.
He sure did. So I will ask you this. So, okay, now you go on to BateWorld. You are going to start, considering participating in this competition. Was there an instance in where you had to choose a specific category for you to compete, or is it just everyone that submits the requirements gets to be a part of the competition?
What do you mean by choosing a specific category? I'm a little confused.
That's what I'm asking. Are there categories that you had to choose from? So you chose, like, you're known for your autofellatio, right? Your ability to blow yourself very uniquely and amazingly.
Thank you.
Was that just one category, or is it just, hey, here, I'm a participant. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I chose to do. And people vote on that.
Like a talent show?
Yeah. Are there different categories?
No, there's not any categories. It's just a race against the other 5 contestants. Every year it there's been a different number of contestants, but this year we had 6 in total, 6 of us. So it's not necessarily, there's not like categories. It's just that they put the challenge for each week. So like week 1 was the hands-free challenge, and we all submitted a hands-free masturbation video, and then the members of BateWorld would watch the whole episode and then vote for their favorites. What they actually did this year was they had us ranked. So they would have this little lineup, and they got to place each of the performers, 1 through 6, on first being their favorite and so on. And then it just continues like that for each week following after that. But there's not necessarily any particular, we don't designate ourselves a category or anything like that. Going into it. So the same challenges would have been for anybody, whether, it's me or somebody who does not do autofellatio would have been doing the hands-free challenge.
So it's like drag race for the beta world, right? You're doing all these.
Sense, yeah.
It's, okay. So now it makes sense to me.
Love that.
So one more question for you. I have so many questions, but mainly like, okay, you're ready to participate, to sign up and be a part of this competition. And now you have your challenges, right? They give you an email. They'll tell you, okay, this is challenge 1 through 10. How do you get yourself in the headspace, and how do you prepare to get yourself to the point where you can actually do all of these different challenges by yourself in a self-enclosed room, creating your content, editing it, and then submitting it?
That's a big
Um,
one.
I definitely had my moments through the competition where I was like, it feels it was new territory for me to be in because like I said, I've been doing content for 4 years now. And I've never put myself in the position of being sort of compared to other people like that because I don't like to treat content creation like a competition. I like to look at other creators as if I'm trying to be friends with everybody, like straight
Mhm.
up. Um, but going into something where I'm like, okay, like I know that people are, essentially comparing me to these other creators, like it's a little bit intimidating to be in, especially with all the amazing talent that was in this season. Everybody is so strong and unique in their own niche. And I think that was such a well I don't know how to explain it, but it was just this season was so unique in that way that everybody was so specific and so strong in their niche that I just thought that was like such a good way to show variety of how different people masturbate. But yeah, that was super intimidating to go up against all of them. And so getting into recording, I kind of just had to tell myself, you know what, like just do your normal thing. Like don't try to do too much. Don't try to be too different than what you normally are. Just stay authentic to what you always do. Because I definitely had a moment where I was like overthinking it, and I'm thinking like, okay, like I have to try to do this to appeal to these people a little bit more, this way. And I was like, no, like just record the damn video. So most of the time, that's what I did. I had like loose plans for things, and a lot of times I would not follow my plan at all. Um, but yeah, it's pretty much just a matter for me of setting the camera down like I always do and just kind of doing my thing, whatever comes in that moment. There was like the post-workout wank. I had no intention of self-sucking that day, but I had the idea to start my post-workout as stretching because that's what I do. So I started the video with some stretching, and then my back was feeling limber, and I was like, my dick smells good right now. Like I'm sucking. And so
So
that was what that video was.
so let's tee that up, right? So okay, so now you're doing that part of your challenge, and you're doing you set up your camera and you're in the element of starting to record. It's not like you're in a studio, you don't have fluffers, right? So
Right.
if you are, for example, stretching and then like you noticed, oh, the camera didn't catch the right angle and you were hard then, and then you go and you switch the camera around, now you're no longer hard again. Like, talk about the mental aspect of putting yourself back in that space after you had to fix your shot again, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's very real because normally with my content, I just set the phone down and that's the angle that I'm going with. And if I don't like it, I don't like it. But because I was on a time constraint with this, I had the
Right.
month to record. That was something with my mirror challenge in particular. I recorded the video once and then I had to re-record it at the very end of everything. It was the first video I recorded, and then I had gone through, started editing it, and I was like, this is not going to work. Like, it just does not work. And then I re-recorded the video at the very end of the month. And it's like you said, I'm having to change my angles because I have two phones for recording, so I can do multi-angle stuff, but I wanted to incorporate a little bit more with this particular video. And
Right.
so it was a lot of having to, set my phone and then record and then move my phone, figure out the angle, replace everything. And then I'm able to monitor what my phones are recording through my iPad. And so I'd be kind of checking through that to make sure everything's like working well, but I would constantly have to adjust and make sure that everything's, getting the right shot. So yeah, I would lose my bone all the time
Right.
and have to get it back. And so with that video in particular, I was exhausted of filming. Like, I'll straight up, I was so exhausted of filming. My balls were drained. My dick was tired. Like, and I was like putting on porn to try to fluff myself and get back to it. And I was losing it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I
So
don't have time for this.
So you are the content creator, you are the producer, you are your own fluffer, you are your own cameraman, you are like you're the grip,
The
you're everything.
editor, the marketer, the promoter, everything.
Well, I mean, it's good content.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's very good content.
Yeah, this is
Now I'm interested. What type of porn? No.
So, but you also won a Pornhub award, correct?
I did.
And you were the first one in your category.
As far as I know, yes. Well, not as far as I know. Yes, I was. I looked up the previous winners and I'm like, oh my gosh, like there's no, I don't think there's ever been a solo act to win for top blowjob performer. And then, you know, because I've never done a collab with anybody. I've never posted a collab. And so yeah, I'm fairly certain I was the first to, as a solo act, to win a top blowjob performer, and then no other autofellator or self-sucker has won a Pornhub award for top blowjob yet.
So,
Nice.
an interesting question. I'm not sure if someone has ever asked you this before. So, you know, as far as your talent, how deep does that talent go? Is it just the tip, or you're going all the way
my
down
God.
when you're self sucking?
You got to watch the video.
How
to find
far
out.
down do you go?
Right?
And do you get?
Somebody didn't watch the video and do their research.
Yeah, you got to watch the video to find
Well, no,
out.
I'm
I'm
asking.
kidding.
I'm asking for the
For our
listeners,
listeners,
for
yeah.
those who are interested.
I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah.
It depends on the day, and it depends on how consistent I've been with my stretching. I've gotten down to probably around an inch away from the base before, where I've gotten, you know, a good mouthful, touch the back of my throat and all. But generally, I'm lazy as fuck, and I do not stretch as much as I should. So I'm typically just around halfway.
Wow. So I want to pivot a little bit.
Yes, go for it.
All right. So I want to move away from the autofellatio and all of that. I want to ask a little bit about stigma around adult content, creating adult content, and what your experience with that has been like.
I don't know that I have really dealt with a lot of it myself, because, you know, I'm very fortunate to have family and friends that are very supportive of what I do. And, you know, my family, obviously, they don't know about all the extra talents that come along with it, but my family knows that I do adult content. And my sister always says she's my #1 supporter. Never seen anything like.
Thank
She
God.
doesn't need to. Yeah, none of them need to. And I try my best. Like, I just stay away. Like, this is my job. They're like, but like my dad sometimes, he's like, you know, we can talk about it. I'm like, but I don't want to. Like, my work life is my sex life as well. So like, we don't gotta.
Right.
Like, I get that you're curious on like how things work, but like, no. And so yeah, like my sister, she always says she's my #1 supporter. My parents are both very supportive of what I do overall. My mom's more along the lines of like, I don't need to ask questions and I don't want to know, but like, great for you, you know. Just don't tell me.
Yeah, no.
That's awesome.
So I haven't really had to deal. Yeah, it's really great to have that support system, and especially my friends as well, all my close friends. But I haven't really dealt with too much of the stigma myself. Obviously, it's very prevalent and exists. You know, we see all this censorship happening with adult content creators. You look at platforms like Twitter that they de-amplify or suppress adult content creators. My engagement now is not what it used to be when I first started. When I first started, you know, I had 5,000-10,000 followers at the time, and I had great engagement. I was getting a lot of likes and retweets, and people were joining my page because, you know, all of those likes and retweets, not that it necessarily matters, but it matters as far as funneling that into paid subscribers. And so that's why I kind of have to pay attention to that stuff. But now I'm around 230,000 on Twitter, and my engagement sucks ass. Like, it's so frustrating. So that, you know, tying that into the whole stigma of sex work and the way that we're sort of suppressed or you know, all these different entities trying to censor us, really it's frustrating. It's very frustrating, especially as somebody who's very proud of what I do. you know, I'm not somebody who wants to hide the fact that I do sex work. I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, you know, they better mention some of these fucking accolades at my funeral. Like, don't hide it from nobody.
Just make sure you have the right person reading your eulogy. That's all.
Mhm.
They'll
Right.
make it fun.
Your sister or your dad.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, well, never
Right.
mind.
It's interesting, you know. So, talk to me a little bit about, you know, your fan base. You know, how has the fan base received you, specifically, you know, with your involvement with BateWorld, or even your own channel, or places where you publish your own work. Like, how are your fans receiving it, and how are your experiences with them?
Yeah. So I mainly operate through OnlyFans. I do OnlyFans and JustFans. OnlyFans just happens to be the platform that brings me the most of my income. You know, I'm a full-time content creator. I don't have another job that I do, a day job like many people do. This is my full-time work. This is what I do. Um, and so I feel very fortunate to have the subscribers that I do, people that are keeping up with me and paying attention. And it really fucking sucks. My Snapchat got banned recently, and I had so many people on Snapchat, and I was, you know, I would keep up with them, and I've had a few of them message me on Twitter like, "Did you block me on Snapchat?" I'm like, "No, I got banned. Like, I didn't block you." Um,
Why
but
why would Snapchat ban you?
you know what? Sometimes my filter is not the best, so I know not to post NSFW content on Snapchat on my stories because I've gotten the warning enough times.
Mhm.
But in promoting the BateOff on my Snapchat, my dumbass, I screenshotted this page with a thumbnail of my mirror challenge. So there's the 3 versions of myself laid into the same frame. And I was smart enough to, you know, cover my dick and balls and my ass. I cover those. I'm like, okay, perfect. Like I can put this on Snapchat because it's not showing anything. Not realizing that the comments underneath were profile pictures from BateWorld, just dick, straight up cock and balls. So I didn't realize that, and I posted it on my story. And then a few weeks later, I ended up getting, or a few days, I think actually, I ended up getting my Snapchat
Well, fuck
suspended.
them.
Oh, that's sad.
Permanently. So yeah, total mistake on my part. But I'm pretty sure that's the reason why. Like I said, I posted NSFW stuff on there before, and it was always just kind of a warning, and I stopped doing that. But then the one time that I fuck up, I didn't do it on purpose, and yeah, I no longer have Snapchat or Instagram
Oh man,
or
that's
TikTok.
Really?
Or
Insta's
TikTok. They got me. It was like boom, boom, boom. Like they got me all within a week, I think.
that is
Which the
insane.
other
So,
TikTok and yeah, TikTok and Instagram, obviously I wasn't posting NSFW content, so I'm like,
right.
the amount
what the heck?
of penises and vages on Insta, I can't even believe in. My feed
Yeah,
is insane.
Well, we all know
yeah.
why it is insane. But
Well, your feed is based off of the type of stuff that you engage with, so
thank you.
Well, as a bi man, you know.
Yeah, he engages with a lot of things.
Yeah.
but
So,
yeah,
so
it's crazy because I'm like, I'm watching, you know, on Instagram, you see so much dick print all over the place. It's blatant and obvious, and I'm like,
Oh,
and
yeah.
here I
No,
am
I'm
getting
not
my
seeing.
ass
Yeah.
suspended.
Talk about
on
my
Insta,
chicken
I'm not
guy.
seeing prints. So they're showing.
Mr.
They're showing.
Quail.
They're literally
Oh,
showing.
really?
Yeah.
I mean, I have
Both.
seen my share of penises in a lot of
Mr.
these
Quill, your farm boy.
platforms that don't need to be on, you know, shown anywhere.
Mhm.
You, my friend, have a penis that needs to be displayed everywhere.
Oh, yeah, totally.
It should be like they should cast your penis and make it a dildo.
I mean, I'd buy it.
Yeah. So
You know what? I want to so bad.
Do
I
it.
bought, or not bought, but I had a clone kit sent to me years ago, and I tried to do it myself and epically failed. I need a partner to help me out doing
Okay.
that. because
Yeah, you
it's
have
hard
to
like,
Booking a flight.
Booking a
right.
right now. No,
like,
that's that,
it's hard because you have to like
challenge is
mix
keeping
the
the challenge is keeping a hard on while the thing cures.
what
yeah,
was
well,
that?
while you're like trying to mix, you have 20 seconds. It's like so like
Yeah.
time sensitive. You have to do everything so quickly, and you have 20 seconds to mix this shit. And I'm like, my dick's getting soft. I tried to put it in anyway, and somehow I ended up ejaculating into the clone mixture, and it was yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
That's
God.
hilarious.
All bad. It didn't even work. Like it just turned it the cast mixture turned out to be like clumpy different pieces and stuff. Like it wasn't even one solid casting. So I was
Mold.
like, okay, like this did not work out. So I need a partner to help me eventually.
Yeah. You need a fluffer. You need somebody that keeps working on you while
While
you're
you're doing the
mixing,
mix.
and then you can just stick it in, and then there you go.
Right.
That's what you need. So
That's exactly what I need.
I have hey, there, I'm sure there's a lot of volunteers out there. I am
know,
sure
right?
of it. Because it is a beautiful penis. So I'm just saying.
Thank you.
So I have one more question for you. As far as your content, what's next for you?
Stay tuned and find out.
Okay.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm just, I'm having a good time. I'm doing my thing and trying to continue growing as a creator. For me, doing content really is a creative outlet more than anything.
Right.
And I enjoy coming up with something that feels a little bit different from what I've done. I try my best to make sure that no video feels like a repeat of what I've done, because you get so many creators up there that don't really care to be content creators. They're in it for just the money or whatever other reason, and it's just like the content kind of gets stagnant. It feels like it's just kind of the same thing that they're uploading all the time, and it's like that's why people aren't subscribing. But I do feel very fortunate to have people that come back. I have a few subscribers that have been with me for years, and that's something that I'm always like, holy shit, like I'm very grateful for that, because not only like you're helping me pay my bills, but like the fact that I'm able to retain you and keep you here and keep you interested, and you're engaging with me and DMing me on on OnlyFans just for fans, and just it, I've built real connections with a lot of my subscribers where I know them a little bit more personally. Like I know their, their name, I know where they live, I know what they do for work. And yeah. What was the question again?
you actually answered.
You did. You didn't know.
You did answer,
So-
but I have a question
Go
because
for it.
I haven't had a word otherwise today. No. As a content creator, I mean, I understand you've been doing this for quite some time. Any advice for any person considering doing this, going into it, that may not be as well endowed as yourself? Words of wisdom, any guidance?
You looking for tips?
Me?
Jay?
Dad bod, short rod. No.
I honestly, it's not so much about your size or even the body. I've seen people come into content creation with that fitness, what's the word, like fitness influencer, like picture perfect little body, and have no success, like just really struggle to build their account and grow. So I think a lot of it really just comes down to, lost my train of thought. I think a lot of it just comes down to staying creative, and doing what you can to really promote yourself and get out there. Look at as many different social media platforms as you can. I'm on Twitter, I was on TikTok, I was on Instagram, I promote through Reddit. I even have used BateWorld, Pornhub, Hamster. There's so many different outlets that you can promote through. So I would say to go through those channels. Another big thing, I always tell people to watermark your content. It is very easy, especially if you're new to the industry and people don't really recognize you as like, oh, that's that guy from Twitter, or that guy posts his dick on Reddit all the time. If you haven't been doing it for a long time and people don't really recognize you like that, it's a good idea to watermark your stuff. Even, years in, still watermarking. I've been doing it for 4 years and I'm still watermarking all of my content, because people do steal your content. There's always going to be people in the world who don't know, who you are, what you are, or whatever, and people will steal your content and then resell your stuff or create these fake profiles or catfish as you. So watermarking has saved me a lot from that. And it also just helps to track back. Leaks are gonna happen. People are going to be assholes, and they're gonna leak your content and steal your videos directly from your page, which is really frustrating and very heartbreaking, low key, when it happens the first time. And even, years in, it's still happening, and it still just grinds my gears every time. But I think what one of the benefits of watermarking all of my content is that it always tracks back to me. There's always a way to track that back. If somebody finds me on some random website, then my watermark is in the video in a way that can't be cropped out so easy. So people are able to say, oh, like Parker Woods X, let me go search this and I can find him. And that's how I'm able to kind of keep people a little bit more with me, instead of just kind of getting lost in like, oh, that video was hot, and then they move on to the next thing. At least people have a way to find me again. And so I think that kind of helps. But yeah, just biggest things are stay authentic to what you're into. Don't try to push yourself into anything that you wouldn't normally do. I think that's what's worked best for me, is I do what I want to, and I'm not pushing myself into doing things that I don't want to do just for money or just for followers. It's not about that. I'm a content creator because I like to create. This is a creative outlet for me. I've always been somebody who's very artsy and has that creative eye for things, and that's something that matters to me. And also, I'm just very horny and I like to show off, and I've always loved just showing my dick to people. So, that helps.
As
Yeah.
you should,
Well,
as you well should.
To be fair, I mean, when you say, you have an artistic background, when you watch the mirror video, it literally is a piece of art.
Thank you.
I think so.
I
She's
was
gonna go home and
terrified to upload that. You know what? And might I also throw in at the end of that video, I was wearing ball stretchers, and those bitches, one of my nuts like popped through the ball stretcher at the end of the video right after I came. It was so freaking painful. I had to stop wearing my stretchers for like 2 months for that to recover. But it's all good now. We're back, and he's
Poor
having a
ball.
good
He's
time.
back in action. So,
Yeah.
Parker, it has been absolutely amazing and very enlightening and stiffening to have this very titillating conversation regarding your art, what you do, your content, and how you create, and and all of these amazing things that you're involving yourself in. But before we wrap it up and let you go, I want to give you an opportunity to pimp yourself out and let people know how they can find you, on what platforms. Give them a website if you have one. Give us all the good deeds.
You can find all of my socials under Parker Woods X. That is Twitter, Reddit, no longer Snapchat, Instagram, or TikTok, unfortunately. Pornhub, X Hamster, OnlyFans just for fans. I stick everything to Parker Woods X. BateWorld, also Parker Woods X on there. I would really encourage anybody who's listening, if you have the slightest interest in BateWorld, go to bateworld.com and sign up. It's a fantastic community. It's so much fun to be a part of, and I just, it feels like a little home there. It's different from all the other social media sites because it's made for us. It's made for us to show off and be horny and connect with each other. So yeah, join us on BateWorld first of all. But yeah, all my socials are Parker Woods X.
Can I ask really quick? I know we got to wrap it up, but is BateWorld specifically LGBTQ or no?
No, it's specifically men.
Okay.
So, and I say that men,
I stumped him.
So you could potentially be watching videos of a man, jerking off, who happens to be a straight man who's part of the bait world community.
Yes, and so I want to be clear when I say this too. I don't want anybody to get confused and think that like, oh, he means cisgender men only. No, like absolutely trans men can be a part of it. It's just that's the whole point. Is it's a community for men. Whether it's a cisgender man or a trans man, you're a man. Join the fucking community.
Right.
And but yeah, you have, you know, there's queer people on there, there's gay people, there's bisexual, pansexual, straight guys on there. You know, it's just the whole point really is just that it's a community for men. So that's as it take it for as vague as it is, because that's what it is.
That's great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, Parker, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to join us on today's episode and enlightening us with your process, the work that you do, and you know, just getting us that much more excited every day for those amazing positions and contortions and you know, things that you do.
Well,
They're
thank
amazing.
you so much for having me. I was terrified going into this, and the three of you are so chill, and this has been a really great experience. Honestly, probably my favorite podcast that I've done so far.
Oh, well, thank
thank
you.
you.
So we won't say that too loud, but you know, feel free, you know, if you ever want to come back and join us and maybe, you know, just shoot the shit, talk about other things.
I would love
we'll be more
to.
than happy
Actually,
to.
sorry to cut you off. I did not mean to do that. Can I just ask one question? My best friend wanted me to ask, why is it 2.0? What happened to GayTalk 1.0?
So, funny story. We started this thing like 10 years ago now.
Right.
And so Tom and I always wanted to start a podcast. And one day we were working at a bar together. I don't know if I mentioned it or you mentioned it, and then it just kind of all like spiraled.
Right.
And then we came up with this title, Gay Talk, because we kind of wanted to be like The View, but gay. And then we were researching it, and there was already a Gay Talk. So we took Gay Talk 2.0.
Yeah. And it's sort of
better anyway.
Yeah,
no, and you know, we've toyed with the idea of, you know, because we've been on the air now in some capacity, whether it was through a live stream.
I was
audio.
a twink when we started.
Yeah,
put it that way.
I think we all were. It's been 10 years. This March in 2026, it will be 10 years since we launched our podcast in March of 2016. So it's been a very long time. A lot of conversations, a lot of guests, a lot of, you know, craziness, a lot of things that we wish we didn't say, but we said them anyway. And we don't edit.
Canceled a bunch,
right? We don't edit our show, so it's like it's a live stream. Boom, there's the audio. That's what you got. And so, you know, we always try to warn our guests, you know, if you join the show and you say something that you shouldn't have, it's going to be on the show.
Yeah,
we won't take. So.
We've had to edit one time.
Yeah,
just
no,
once.
It's fabulous.
But
again,
you're part of the Gay Talk family now.
Yes.
So
well, thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed this whole conversation, this whole experience with you guys. So thank you guys for having me.
It's funny because I know we have to wrap it up, but we were on. So this is the first time ever we've done a double feature with two guests on the same show. So the first half of our show was with a medical doctor. His name is Dr. Goldstein. He's actually an anal surgeon for the LGBTQ plus community. And we're like, this is going to be such a weird transition to go from that to talking about porn. And it actually was like perfect. It actually was great.
No, it worked out pretty well. You know, if you're not familiar with Dr. Evan Goldstein, you know, he's like the premier proctologist. We call him the butt whisperer. He has been with us for quite a few years and brings a wealth of knowledge for, you know, people in our community that bottom, that, you know, experience a lot of different types of things. And, you know, it's always good to give our listenership a variety of different things that, you know, they can listen to and gravitate towards. And, you know, having content creators that happen to, you know, work in the sexual work realm is one of those other things that, you know, people want to have options. You know, people want to know, hey, this is something that I could potentially get into myself, you know.
If you need a doctor, he's the guy.
Yeah, he does good work.
I think I had caught a little bit of the end of what he was saying when I had first joined in. I had heard something about glass plugs, I think.
Yes.
So he has a company called Future Method, and it's all like, I don't want to say holistic might not be the right word, but like his douches are pH balanced, so it's better for when you douche out, so that you know less infections.
You're not using female douches, basically.
Right. Yeah. He also has an anal glass dilation kit, which is amazing. I have it. He's coming out with some more stuff. He has a book called
But Seriously.
But Seriously.
Right.
But he's got a lot of really great products. You should definitely check it out.
Oh, I will be. I saw a little bit on your guys' homepage of the glass dilation kit, and then I also, like I said, heard him talking a little bit about glass plugs, and that caught my attention because I really love glass. That's, the plugs that I have are glass. The dildos that I use the most are glass, just because they're, you get that variety of, I can use coconut oil with them, or I can use silicone with them, as far as lubricants go. But yeah, I got all excited because I was like, oh hell yeah. I had somebody on Twitter recently telling me like, you're not supposed to put glass in your ass. I'm like, but this was literally borosilicate glass made to be in your ass. Like, it's okay. It's
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And actually, when
somebody's
he
watched the video that traumatized them.
yeah,
glass.
right. No, and that's one of the questions that we asked when the anal dilation kit was introduced into the family of the Future Method products, because there are many of them. That's one of the questions, that we asked. Okay, so you have these 3 sizes that come in this kit. How safe is this glass for you to insert in your body? Is there a potential, for you to harm yourself and then end up in the hospital? And we had a very in-depth conversation about the makeup, the composition of the glass, how safe it is. So yeah, we're there with you.
And he just came out with a silicone-based lube.
Oh,
That you're gonna have to try out.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into all of these things. I'm very fascinated with
He said they were introducing silicone. No,
A silicone
dilator
plugs. Kit.
Yeah, dilator kit.
Yeah, he's coming back. He's coming back.
Dilator clit.
That's exactly what he said. Yes.
I'm cursive.
Oh, you're speaking cursive already. It's the alcohol.
The alcohol.
Yeah, so we're excited. We have been very fortunate to have a myriad of different people come join our show. From authors to content creators, doctors, different artists in the music realm. It's been a ride.
Yeah.
It's been a ride.
I quit.
So Parker, once again, our deepest thanks for coming on the show and really just giving us an overview of what you do and how amazing your content is. So thank you.
Thank you. And thank you guys so much for coming prepared. You guys had so many great questions. I'm thrilled. I'm so thrilled with how this went. Truly.
Well, like I said, feel free to, reach out, join us on, any old given day. We record on Mondays so that you can just, shoot the shit with the boys of GayTalk.
Yeah.
All righty. I'll keep that in mind. I'll be sure to reach out soon.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And we'll plug, obviously, all of your social, the handle and BateWorld on our podcast post tonight. So that way, if people want to click on the links, they can do that.
Sweet. Thank you guys so much.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, ladies and gents, that, of course, was Parker Woods. I'm often surprised in many ways and in many aspects by the guests that we get the opportunity to bring on the show, because there's a lot of, like you said before, preconceived notions of people that work in certain industries. And as you can see, you're talking about someone who really takes pride in the work that he does. And that shows in the content that he creates. And not only that, but he's a beautiful person.
Yeah,
right?
No.
So
I did not know how that was going to go, and I'm really glad that we actually had him on.
Yeah. So hopefully, he'll reach out. We'll be more than happy to have him anytime he wants to come back. But we need to wrap things up.
Yeah.
So
this has been a long one.
Yes, it has been.
Yes, but quick confession.
You have a
quick
oh
confession.
god,
No.
I'm scared.
So I went on his Reddit.
Actually,
I'm following right now. But anyways, the fan above him is on a few videos. So
the fan above
he was in the casting room. No.
Oh.
What?
The ceiling fan. You'll see him you'll see it in a few videos.
Okay, well you'll have to.
Yeah, I'll show you next.
Right.
No,
hey, listen.
Hey.
All right.
Nice.
Well, Trish, I'm gonna throw it over to you. You want your love?
Oh shit! Hold on. Yeah.
There you go.
All right, everybody. Here's Mama Kim's minute. Mama Kim, do not look him up. That's not for you. Number one, right wingers try to ban her books.
Don't limit her.
Now she's fighting back and encouraging other queer authors. Number two, Trump admin planning to end Medicaid, Medicare funding for hospitals that treat trans youth.
Oh, fuck them all. I cannot with
Number three, this children's book is a must for gay parents who want to teach their kids about love and fashion.
All right. Well, as always, those will be posted on tonight's post. Jaybird, I'm going to throw it over to you. You're up.
Okay, on this day in gay history, the year 1995. Where? South Korea. South Korea marks its first Pride celebration with a march and other events in Seoul.
1995. Imagine
1995.
that. All right. Well, we have a lot of thanking to do. Do you want to do the thanking? Do you want me to take the thanking? Go for it.
All right. Where were we? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, we were moving on to announcements, weren't we?
Yeah, announcements, Tom.
She jumped ahead of the schedule.
I'm over here trying to find something, and she's like, oh.
Go for it, Jaybird. I'm sorry. I'm hungover. Forgive me. I drank a lot yesterday.
I think you were distracted by other things today.
Yes, I was.
If you love the show, please make sure to rate, review, and subscribe in your favorite podcasting service. By subscribing, you get the latest and greatest of our show delivered right to your favorite device or web browser as soon as the episode is published. You can also support us on Patreon. With Patreon, your listeners can help to support the show with a pledged donation. The donations are collected monthly and can be in any denomination of $1 or more.
All right. So thank you. It feels like I haven't said that in a while.
Yeah.
To our guests today, Dr. Evan Goldstein. So amazing having him back, learning more about GLP-1s, learning just everything that he's doing, my butthole, your butthole, everybody's butthole. And then, of course, Parker Woods, one of the most recognized figures in autofellatio, known for his technique-driven solo content and self-suck stretch tutorials. So you got to check that out.
You have to. All right. Jaybird.
Oh, where am I?
No, it's me.
No, it's not.
You? Oh.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Get the Future Method and all other products today. All products are doctor developed, can clean out without hurting your bum. Take confidence anywhere with the anal powder packs. Increase your stretch goals with the 3-piece anal glass dilation kit. And get all the information you need with Dr. G's book, But Seriously. Visit futuremethod.com to purchase your life-changing bum accessories today.
Yes, queen.
Okay, I guess today's plug will be time to put your lips on it.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Our show is available on our website, gaytalk20.com, under audio podcast. It is also available as a free download on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, and now Spotify.
Yes, queen.
All right. You can find us on social media, Facebook, GayTalk 2.0, Instagram, GayTalk 2.0. You can email us at gaytalk2.0@gaytalk20.com. Tom, I'm hoping for the best.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of sad that, we're mentioning all of our handles and, our guests got banned from a lot of them. Boo-hoo, these companies. Anyway, ladies and gents, if you need to reach out to us, just head on over to our website. Click on the Contact Us tab, which is located at the top of your web browser. There you can leave comments, suggest topics, submit a question for the cast or an individual host. You can also give us a call if you'd like with any questions you may have. You can leave those for us on our voicemail. Our phone number is 334-GAY-TALK. And if you need all of those digits, it is 334-429-8255. Don't forget that we are streaming live every Monday at 6 p.m. And you can access the live stream by becoming a Patreon supporter on the day of recording. Everyone else gets to see the actual live show video the following week. And with that, ladies and gents,
Wait.
what?
If you're out there and you are a People's Choice Podcast Award voter,
Oh, yes.
now is the time. Final voting is open. We are finally fucking nominated, and we would love the opportunity for a win here. So please vote for us.
And I think we should also add,
you guys really don't want to
get out
end
of here today,
yes.
don't we, right?
Yes, I'm hungry.
And hungover. But I think we should also make it a point to point out that if there are any females out there that would like to share their experiences with us as well, please reach out. We just don't want to,
you better give him access
have content. Have content just about male, enhancement or male masturbation or self-fellatio. If there's any females out there, even listeners that would like to share some of their experiences with us, please reach out.
Yeah, Jay's interested.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. Well, ladies and gents, with that is our show. Thank you. And y'all have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of GayTalk 2.0. Tune in next time for more dish.